Welcome back to NC Gun Enthusiast YouTube channel. I'm working on my 95 F150 and I'm putting on new shock towers, or a new shock tower on the driver's side, shock and spring tower actually. This is what the old shock tower looked like right here. As you can see, is in bad shape, and what was worse was the frame. The frame was rusted out behind where the tower bolted up to the frame. I cut it out using a grinder, and I bent it. I did a little bends and stuff to it, as you can see, kind of to try and kind of make it go with the frame as much as I can. So I got it fitting in there really nice. I also, to lift it up, I put my jack stand underneath the axle here, right in here, actually right there. Lifted it up, put some blocks underneath the frame. You can see I've got them sitting right here, sitting there. And since I did cut that out of the frame, I didn't know how strong the frame was on the end with the engine and everything. So I took my jack and I put it underneath the end of the frame here and jacked it up. I don't have a lot of pressure on it, but I do have enough just in case. Until I wanted to try and keep the frame as straight as possible. Whenever I welded it back, and the shock tower, spring tower, it's riveted on. So I took a plasma cutter and I took and melted the heads off, and then used the air hammer and pushed them through the frame. It worked really good. I didn't have a plasma cutter when I did the passenger side, so I used a grinder and I grinded the heads off, and I did have an air hammer. I went and bought one, and that worked really well. But you can use a punch and a hammer to knock them out, but that air hammer does help quite a bit, because it just pushes them right out in a couple seconds. Trying to think of what else that I need to say to help anybody out that is wanting to do this on their truck. I will say that this truck has been in the salt before I bought it. I think it was in Tennessee, and if your truck is in the salt and stuff, and like I said, and this side here appeared to be better, good, but once I took that shock tower, spring tower off, it was very bad behind it. I mean, very bad. I actually had to patch the passenger side the same way, not to the extent. It wasn't near as bad. But yeah, I'm going to take a wire wheel and wire wheel all this. I'm gonna wire wheel this. I'm gonna try and paint it. I'm going to, on the other side, I wire wheeled this quite a lot, and then when I did, I actually taped this off. I didn't paint it to try and make it easier for when I have it aligned. When I had it aligned, it'd make it easier for them to take the nut off and stuff and do what they need to do, hopefully. But yeah, I got my old Miller 211 here. Gonna get her burned in. And also another welding tip. I'm not a welding expert, but from the videos that I've seen, really cleaning up even this new metal here, cleaning it up where the weld's gonna be, makes a heck of a difference. You'll really get it burned in real good if you just clean this right here, this Again, they call it some type of scale of some kind, but you get it cleaned off where it looks, you know, like that right there. It'll be a lot stronger weld. So, and this is a little thicker than the frame. This metal is by just a little bit, which is good. It won't hurt a thing. Yeah, I bought bosch progressive coil, rake coil. See, here's the other side that I did. Turned out really well. I took it and wire wheeled up quite a bit of it and sprayed it. I definitely would recommend doing that. I would, you know, if you're gonna take all this apart, I mean, you want to protect the truck. You know, if you like your truck, you want to keep it from going rusting any further. You know, take the time and wire wheel it and put you some paint on it, on the frame and stuff. I got some red. I can't remember where I got those from. I think I got them from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. The spring isolators. I like them. And like I said, I got the spring towers from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. You're able to, you can get every, you know, a lot of the parts. You know, you can get the coil tower. You can get a new nut for this. You can get a new one of these spring holders. I bought one from the other side. I'm not sure if that's new or not. I think that's actually the old one there. Also you can get turn a light on. So here's the new one. There's the new one. It comes with new hardware. You can see there. There's a new clip, the whole spring hold down clip at the top for the top. You hooks in, you know, right there. So I got a new one of these. This right here is what you put down. That holds the bottom of the spring. And yeah, so you got an old truck like this and it's just kind of rusty a few places. You might want to check these behind the coil towers. But I hope this helps. Oh yeah, and something else before I go. This is where the spring sits, right here. The spring, you gotta, whenever you, let's say you go ahead to get this to drop down, you get this to your axle part, your axle to drop down, you have to take the shock loose, and you take that piece that holds in. You gotta take your shock loose up here at the top, take it loose here, and once you take this loose, and see by keeping the frame up, the axle is able to drop down, and once it does, all this will come out. It'll like come out and then lean out to you, and what I did was, instead of trying to fish this right here how that coil sits, right like that. So actually like this, it's actually upside down. But instead of trying to fish something like an extension down the middle of it, I just cut it off. I just cut it off right there, and that made it a lot easier. You can actually get an impact on it if you have one. If you do that, it's a lot easier because nothing's standing up so tall. You can't. It's hard to get impact through the top, and that nut that holds that coil on is 1 1/8 inches. So you'll know that. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. I know I didn't show how to, you know, step by step, but it's really not too bad. Like I said, jack the axle up, or jack it up, truck goes up, put you something underneath the frame. You know, put you something underneath the frame like I did here, and then that allows you to drop your axle down. It allows it to droop, go to full, you know, to your full droop, and like so you take all the weight off of it. See, I can move it. I can move it. But once you do that, then take your spring shock loose at the top, and that's it. It'll just fall out. So, and then yeah, there you go. But yeah, check out Bronco Graveyard on online, and you can get a lot of parts from them. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.